What's poppin', Carolina Nation? Welcome to today's video, guys. What is going on? Pantherologist, I know I haven't been posting much, probably about 2 videos a week, so I'm going to try to boost that up a little bit this week, try to get maybe 3. I have just been busy preparing for this trip that I have coming up this Friday. I will be going to the Keys for a week, so I will not be posting next week. But anyways, today we have my latest mock draft for the Carolina Panthers and Trey Lance at number 8. I guess you'll find out. But anyways, before we get into today's video, pound that like button, pound the subscribe button if you haven't already. Comment down below, let me know what you think. Guys, also be on the lookout for some more Trey rumors. I'm going to be posting about that. Thinking about going live tomorrow, so check that out. Going live, maybe do a little Q&A with you guys. So if y'all want to tune in and come talk to me, you know, I'm thinking about going live tomorrow and I'll post it up. So when you see this video, so anyways, let's go ahead and dive right into this video. First pick, I went with Trey Lance. Obviously, that's a hint there. So got quarterback out of North Dakota State. He's 6'3", 224 pounds, right? Now, Trey Lance has aligned in the pistol, the gun, and has shown the ability to run the offense from under center. He plays a position with good athleticism, has evidence by his ability to get out of the pocket and extend plays with his legs. But even when he is in the pocket, his mobility and footwork seem to have developed from watching film. Now, because he is a threat to move the chains with his legs, he needs to be accounted for in the zone read game. As a passer, he seems to be able to generate velocity on his throws, which is critical for playing in the elements. He has also shown some touch and accuracy down the field on deep throws. He continues to develop the suitable nuances of the position to continue to maximize his natural talent as a passer. So for an ideal role for this guy is hopefully an eventual starter, right? That's why we're taking him at number 8. And then I also did like a scheme fit here. So a scheme uniquely designed to insinuate his ability as a passer as well as a runner. So I think that's why I feel like he's a good fit. Now my next pick, I went with Dylan Moses, the linebacker out of Alabama. He is 6'3", 235 pounds. Now Moses is a well-experienced linebacker who has spent time at all 3 linebacker spots. He's a hyper-athletic and agile second-level player. He's a fast-flowing prospect that gobbles up opportunities in space. Now, Moses has an athletic and chiseled upper body that contains extended limbs, but contains plenty of definition on them from top to bottom, right? He has broad shoulders, and there's still plenty of room for growth on his physique overall. Now, he has plenty of body armor to withstand constant contact, and the physical asking price of the position combined with his physical mindset. He's supremely a unique athlete at the position, right? He has true sideline to sideline range, and it's when he's able to diagnose plays cleanly, Moses flies down the field with reckless abandon. Now, when having exposure to anyone with the opposite color jersey on, he's looking to embarrass them in any way possible. So he's terrific at keeping his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. But when alleyways open up, Moses is not hesitant with taking the slight crease and flying through it. Now, he has above average instincts combined with having what seems like a ball radar with his head. There isn't a notch of level of how often he dishes out contact because it's always turned to its highest point, right? He's a heat-seeking missile that usually blows up whatever he comes into contact with. His hitting power is at an insanely high level, and that when ball carriers come into contact with him, they know exactly who it was immediately. Moses is a face-up, chest-up tackler that runs his face mask through the opposition. So there aren't many times where he opts to tackle low or shy away from executing proper tackling techniques. There are a few examples of where he shows bad technique or failure to wrap up. Ball carriers go down quickly after coming into contact with him. But an ideal role for him would be definitely, obviously a starting linebacker. Now the scheme that Moses fits best in is either in attacking 4-3, where he can be used as a second level defender on either the strong or weak side, but used routinely as a blitzing threat as well. Now, my next pick is Spencer Brown, the offensive tackle of Northern Iowa. This man is 6'8" and a half, and he's 314 pounds. Now, Spencer aligned at right tackle for UNI's offense. He presents as a leggy, somewhat high-cut player with rare length for the position. He plays with a nasty disposition and plays hard from snap to whistle. Now, he's a good athlete with regard to balance and body control. He is smooth and fluid in his pass set and plays with the football IQ to use his length to his advantage on the edge. Although he has been sufficient in the FCS, he projects with average lateral mobility when redirecting inside against quick athletes. However, this length and instincts help him recover, making him difficult to beat when his technique is good. So an ideal role for him, I think, is an eventual starting right tackle. And I think the scheme that fits him best is obviously a vertical passing scheme. All right, my next pick. Ambry Thomas, cornerback out of Michigan. He is 6 foot and he is 189 pounds. Now, Thomas projects as a potential starting quarterback for an NFL franchise. You certainly wish you had that chance to observe Thomas play in 2020, but the Michigan product opted out before the start of the season amid the uncertainties of the Big Ten season, right? And the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. Now, Thomas was most effective in coverage, playing in press, disrupting route releases inside the contact window. He's a physical player who does well when able to get his hands on the receiver and upset the timing of patterns. So Thomas also flashes quite a bit in shallow spaces as a flat defender in zone coverage, showcasing good awareness of plays that develop underneath to drive back to the football. Thomas's ceiling in the draft will be directly tied to how comfortable teams are with I guess you could so call him a red shirt, 2020 season, and him standing on this tape from the previous year. So an ideal role for him would be like a nickel cornerback from watching film. And then a scheme fit for him would be like press man coverage or like a C2 zone heavy systems. So now, next pick. Jack Anderson, the inside offensive lineman out of Texas Tech. He is 6'4.5", 309 pounds. Now, Jack Anderson is solidly built guard prospect that looks every bit of the part. Last season, he was only able to play in 3 games due to injury. But prior to that point, he collected 28 consecutive starts at right guard. So with a well-developed body overall, he uses it to his advantage in all parts of his game. In the Raiders' up-tempo scheme, he receives many opportunities to show off his skill in pass protection. Now, Anderson keeps his balance intact with a controlled set with his hands consistently loaded and ready to fire. He does an adequate job of keeping his head on a swivel when his gaps are uncovered and seeks work if he doesn't have an immediate threats in his protection area. He's a scheme versatile blocker that's experienced success with various types of concepts. He's slightly a below average athlete, but he's often successful with executing short pulls on power run concepts and disguise play action play designs. Now, Anderson works hard to cross face and create angles during wide outside zone plays. Anderson hasn't shown any position versatility, and his only exposure has been at right guard. Now, his strength and sheer will have been his saving grace on many plays, even when not displaying proper technique. Anderson won't win many leverage battles with his initial posture off of the line. So this makes him falter at the point of attack and when climbing for second level targets flowing over the top. So this is also an area where his lack of lateral agility shows up. Quick moving and fast attacking linebackers can give him trouble. So when attempting to land his body on them. So an ideal role for this guy would definitely be development. He'd be a development role to right or left guard that could eventually turn him into a starter. So I think a scheme fit would be, versatile. All right. Next pick. LaBryan Ray. Inside defensive lineman out of Alabama. He's 6'5", 292. So I'm going to do pros and cons here on these last couple guys. Pros of Ray is that he's a thickly layered defensive line prospect that possesses a lot of body armor. So while he won't impress with his ball get off or acceleration off the line of scrimmage, he displays a tremendous amount of leverage as hand fights at the point of attack when necessary. His value comes strictly as a run defender, but he's a defender that can play in both 3-4 and 4-3 schemes in multiple spots. His impact won't always show up in the stat sheet, but his presence is felt heavily when his side is attacked. Fight, tooth, and claw type of defender that will fight through the echo of the whistle in order to maintain his gap. Now, Ray will provide plenty of gap discipline against the run and maintain where he's designed to be. Now, I'm going to go into the cons of Ray. Predominantly a two-down threat that won't give defenses much of anything on third down or obvious passing situations. Out of the starting blocks, he's a bit delayed as he nearly has to stand up prior to progressing forward with his pass rush attempts. Now, hardly ever any moves are incorporated as a pass rusher, and he defers to being a bull rusher, simply looking to overpower defenders on his way to throwers. All right, my next pick was Elijah Mitchell, the running back out of Louisiana. He's 5'10", 215 pounds. So let's talk about the pros first about this guy. He is a slasher style back who brings a good blend of size, short area quickness, and contact balance to the field. In a three-headed rushing attack for the Raging Cajuns, last season, Mitchell commanded the most reps and rewarded the team with a ton of scoring production. So he has a great sense of navigating linebackers and finding the needed small spaces to force bad challenges. He's big enough that he can drop a shoulder on the sea level of the defenses as well, which results in him creating good yards after contact. Mitchell looks to have adequate athleticism and twitch to force missed challenges as well. He is a solid back and capable of serving as a primary ball carrier in a RBBC stable. Now, the cons of this man is that 2019 offense called upon a lot of jet motion and a lot of zone read looks from an athletic quarterback, which helped to hold linebackers and create clean creases for him to attack coming out of the mesh point. But how well will he navigate a true loaded box in a traditional set with a quarterback under center? That's where what we got a question about him a little bit. That may cause some delay in his assimilation to the pro game. He wasn't overly impressed as a pass catcher, although he was better in 2008 in that area than he was in 2019. While he's a good blend of traits, he doesn't necessarily have a single dominant physical trait that can serve as a trump card for the pro game, which may, cut down on his ceiling. But that's why I took him at the, in the 6th round. Now, my last pick was Luke Farrell, the tight end out of Ohio State. He's 6'6", 250 pounds. The pros of this guy is he's tough as hell as a blocker, and he did show ability to rumble through high tackle challenges at Michigan State in 2019 as well, but he appears to have reconcile his athleticism. Although I wouldn't consider him a twitchy athlete or someone who will shine in vertical routes stems. The few opportunities you got to gauge is his hands, and he didn't appear to show difficulties with addressing the football. I love the fact that he's embraced as a dirty work role, kind of what you would call, within the offense. He appears to be selfless and show genuine excitement for his fellow tight end Jeremy Ruckert on several scoring catches this year. Everyone needs role players, and Farrell, with his run blocking and screen blocking prowess, has a role to play. But he's got some cons, so let's talk about those. So a marginal role in the passing game, and comes from an offense that has been unkind to tight end projections in recent years. Farrell is more of a possession type player, and his ceiling in run after catch scenarios is marginal at best. He's shown good concentration on targets over the middle of the field, but separation is not an area where he's routinely shown success. And I'm not sure how well he will create separation against pro defenders early on, since he's largely just ran into voids in the flat on routes, I guess you probably say, but probably will fare better as a traditional tight end number 2. Although he's spent a lot of his time in the OSU offense flexed and detached from the formation, which may lead to a gradual transition. So guys, that is my latest mock draft. So guys, when I make these mock drafts, I'm doing it based off what we need, who I think we should pick, and I'm basing it off what we need. So when I go in and I make each one of these picks, I'm picking at what these players and the best available at the time. Also, I do my research on each one, and then I give you a little something on each of them like I did. So, I hope y'all are enjoying my mock drafts. So pound that like button, pound the subscribe button if you haven't already. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on new content. Panther Nation, Pantherologists, that's my latest mock draft. Keep pounding.